Hey, you, Eye Taker. Morrison, do you know about a criminal named the Eye Taker? The Eye Taker? Where'd you hear that name? So you do know about them. Aye, I do. I learned to keep my distance from him over the years. The Eye Taker is the criminal kingpin of the region. Every large criminal undertaking in this region happens under his watch. He's that big of a deal? Of course he is. More importantly, how did you hear about him? Also, how do you think I lost my eye? From what I heard, Justin Wayne owes him a huge debt. Justin owed them? I know he used to run around with a bunch of rogues, but I never imagined. By the Scaled Lord. The Eye Taker might be involved in Justin's death. Do you think someone like him could be behind this? Well, there's a saying we have about what happens when you get on his bad side. Let's just say he reminds you of why he has that name. Again, I can't help but notice you're missing an eye. So you know who the Eye Taker is now. It definitely adds another angle to the case. There are still some elements of this that don't make sense. We need to take some time to work through it all. But we should go talk to Dracogen first. He'll want to see everything we found. No, apparently he didn't want to see everything we found, because we talked to him and he just wasn't impressed. Fine, I guess I have to go to him now. Hello, Mr. Cuthbert. I trust you're doing well. Are you more talkative now? For the most part. We spent some time looking into the accident and the people who knew Justin. I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. Oh? We spent some time explaining our findings to Dracogen. He seems troubled when we explain the traces of transmutation that we found on the guardrail. He's even more taken aback when we mentioned Justin's supposed plan to rob him. This is quite a lot to take in. Are you missing any valuables in your safe right now? No, actually, but what is it? After the accident, I did a careful inspection of the building. When I checked my office, I noticed that the lock in the safe was disengaged. The safe was opened, but you said there wasn't anything missing. That's right. When I saw the safe open like that, I was already worried that I'd been robbed. But I double-checked the contents. Everything was accounted for. Did he do a swapsy-doodles? He steal something and then put back a duplicate that wasn't as valuable or something? Because of that, I just assumed I'd forgotten to lock it. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it was just a coincidence. I might believe that if it weren't for where my office is located. What do you mean? The walkway that Justin fell from leads to my office. There's a window there that overlooks the refinery. That would explain why Justin was there in the first place. I don't want to suspect one of my employees, especially one that isn't alive to defend himself from such accusations. But it just fits all too perfectly together, except for one thing. Why wasn't anything stolen? Well, regardless, I think you have a pretty good case. So does that mean you'll represent me? After what I've discovered, I won't just stand by and let Von Sanctus have his way. Well spoken. I'm glad to have you on my side, Mr. Cuthbert. Anyway, regardless of why, someone clearly magically tampered with the site of the accident. I doubt the court will find you at fault for what happened. Although, what's wrong? Civil cases are a lot less strict than criminal cases. I wonder if we'll go up against a different prosecutor. Because why would Arya trouble herself with this, right? Or is it just, well, I'm the only assets they've got, so we're just going to keep recycling prosecutors. If we present evidence suggesting foul play using magic, they'll treat this exactly like our other cases. Yeah, they might stall the trial until they find out exactly what happened. For this accident, all we have to go on is witness accounts. Finding concrete evidence of what happened could very well be impossible. The idea of hunting down the mage responsible sounds very tempting. It looks like you have your work cut out for you. I just hope things turn out okay in the end. And with Von Sanctus on the other side of this, who knows what might happen. It'll be best to keep our wits about us. Well, that was a fast move to the court. And also, hi Arya, your husband is weird. I can't believe this. I have more important things to do than resolve your petty squabbles. Oh, so she's going to take the case, not because it's a criminal case, because Von Sanctus is going to twist her arm. Is that what's going to happen? I'm going to have a little drinky drink. Yes, yes, the missing ship of your betrothed, as we said. Listen, the sooner you help me resolve this mess with Dracogen, the sooner you can return to being the prince's lapdog. Yeah, that's not the tone you want to take with her. That is to say, once I'm not preoccupied with this case, House Von Sanctus can provide the resources that you and the Inquisition need. I suppose I don't have a choice, do I? Boy, we hear those words come out of your lips fairly often, don't we? Well, at least this case should be relatively straightforward. And then she runs into us on the other side. Well, shit. Would we like to save our progress? Yeah, we can do what we did before. We'll do a day of investigation and a day of trial. I think we can manage that for a stream. How late is it? And not too late. I have to be mindful, it is literally Christmas Eve. Court is now in session for the trial of Stefanik Dracogen. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. God, these guys are both looking at each other like, you again? Well, very well. Let's begin the proceedings. Are they treating this as a murder? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Prosecutor Steelwind, please list the charges. The defendant is charged with criminal negligence in the death of Justin Wayne, so not yet. The death occurred at the Arcane refinery last night. Mr. Wayne was an employee of the Dracogen Trading Company, a company owned by the defendant. During work hours, the victim accidentally broke a poorly maintained safety rail and fell into a vat of corrosive chemicals. Attempts to save his life failed, and his body almost fully dissolved, which is why I think they faked the death after the fact, because you can just dissolve whatever the hell you push into that vat. I see. What a gruesome end. The defendant displayed clear negligence in maintaining the refinery's facilities. As such, the responsibility for Mr. Way's death falls squarely on his shoulders. To begin, the prosecution would like to call Noah Morrison to the stand. Zah! Hello, Zah! Whoa, that was a fast zip over. I barely got to see the witness. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. There we go. Oh, it's Morrison. That's why you looked funny. I was expecting the other guy. The name's Noah Morrison. I'm the harbor master of Oranax's harbor. It's my understanding that you witnessed the accident that night. Am I correct? I did. Could you please testify to the court about what you witnessed? And please don't mention the fact that my boyfriend was with you. Thanks. I was showing a visitor around the city that I'm apparently not supposed to mention, and for some reason he really wanted to see the Oranax Arcane refinery. He was inspecting the machines there when suddenly Musarika ran up to us. She was desperately trying to tell us something, but there was just too much noise. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway overlooking the refinery. That's when we saw someone fall into that accursed vat. So they really are making a point of the fact that, you know, after a while, like, time passed. Rika saw him fall, and then we have another set of witnesses who also saw him fall. I mean, plus the fact that this is happening on Christmas, because remember the Ace Attorney case, Merry Christmas, bang. It kind of reminds me of when there were like two murders, quote unquote, one in the boathouse and the other one on the lake. I feel like someone is setting up a witness in that way. But how? I'm not sure. But yeah, there was a guardrail that should have prevented him from falling, but he broke through it as he fell. That was a very short testimony. So there was a safety rail that should have protected the victim. Yes, however, upon closer inspection, the city guard found that the rails were extremely rusted. They were clearly poorly maintained by the company. I see, and this negligence is the basis for the prosecution's charges. Are you going to present the traces of transmutation that we found? Well, I can't help but feel that there's something in Morrison's testimony that doesn't add up. Right now, those traces are the only defense we have against Von Sanctus's accusations. It's not a piece that I want to use just yet, and once we use that piece, who knows how the judge will react. Not much has changed with Morrison's testimony. However, we've collected a lot more evidence since we last spoke to him. Is there anything we found that contradicts his testimony? Oh, it was 5. Okay, that was more than I thought. I was showing a visitor around the city, and for some reason he really wanted to see the Arcanax. Let's see, inspected the machines. Oh, okay, there was 5. Alright, I wasn't paying attention. So it was Full Metal Alchemist? I mean, I don't think they needed a transmutation circle. But it is transmutation magic, so I guess you can do that. It's Full Metal Alchemist E. That was the patron you mentioned before, am I correct, Morrison? Yeah, don't say a damn word. Don't you dare bring my husband into this. Oster seems keen on keeping his identity hidden. It would probably be best to leave it at that. Yeah. You really should remember who that is, but okay. Aside from being a mage, he hasn't given us much reason to suspect him. So the guy who is being escorted around is literally the prosecutor's betrothed, as they keep referring to him. So I think Ori is going to prefer we keep his name out of our mouth. For now, he was inspecting the machines there when suddenly Musarika ran up to us. Are you referring to Musarika Tudor, owner of the local cafe? Aye, for whatever reason, she was also there and witnessed the accident. Yes, we are already well aware of that. Musarika's testimony was a lot less detailed than Morrison and Oster's testimony. She was probably more focused on saving Justin than taking in her surroundings. I'm not sure if they're married or not. They keep saying betrothed, so I guess they're engaged. But it is something we've hinted at before, that Arya Steelwind has a betrothed named Oster, and we've run into him, and he's boy, he is not her type, to put it lightly, but, yeah, we'll get to that later. But are there any points where her testimony doesn't add up with Morrison's? I keep thinking the time frame. I really hope that's what they're hinting at, because we need to address that. He was desperately trying to tell us something, but there was just too much noise. And this noise came from the machines in the refinery, I presume. Those machines were loud as all hell. I could barely hear myself think with that noise. So it's like a political marriage where two people are forced to be married? That's what I said. My immediate suspicion was, is this an arranged marriage of some kind? I'm not actually sure. We don't know the details, we just know the names, so I'm sure it'll come up. You know how these games work. We slowly expand on the main cast's backstory and stuff over time, so I'm sure it'll get fleshed out. I could barely hear myself think with that noise. There was no way I could hear a young Musarika over all that. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway overlooking the refinery. That's when we saw someone fall into that accursed vat. You mentioned that you saw someone fall into the vat. Did you not recognize the person? Well, I didn't know the lad personally, and it was pretty far away. I couldn't get a look at the person. Maybe we should keep a pin on that detail. Can we ask him to add it to his testimony? Anyway, could you go into more detail about the moment you witnessed the accident? Again, I think they saw someone fall or something, but Justin was dead by then. Of course, what do you want to know about? Ah, here we go, yes. What was he doing? What was Musarika doing? What happened to the guardrail just before? I have a lot of choices here. This is more than Ace Attorney usually gives me. Let's see. Betrothed means they're set to be married. It's usually used to refer to an arranged marriage situation. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I know it means they're set to be married. I can see it usually being referred to an arranged marriage. As I said, I suspected that just from meeting Oster and just being like, okay, I can't honestly believe that Arya is like sitting in her bed at night dreaming about dreamy Oster with the way he behaves. Anyway, was the guardrail extremely rusted? What was Oster doing? Musarika doing? Are these choices about things I can have added? What happened to the guardrail before Justin fell? Well, I saw him lean on it, and it should have prevented him from falling off the walkway. He just randomly leaned on the one guardrail that was going to let him fall. But the rail just broke the instant he put his weight on it. That's how he fell into the vat. I see. Could you please include that? This is 4 details he needs to include in his testimony. I'm not sure which one I'm going to be able to refute. If you think it'll help. There was a guardrail that should have prevented him from falling, but he broke through it as he did. I'm not sure if this is the same dialogue. I feel like this is the same. Did I just choose the exact same thing? And you saw the guardrail break? Aye, it was hard to see most things from that distance, but I definitely noticed that. It doesn't necessarily mean arrangement or political in nature, but I suspect too. We'll find out in due time for sure. It definitely made an impression on me. It's like those rails were made out of cardboard. Which only proves our point. A properly maintained guardrail should not have broken that easily. We shouldn't present the magical traces yet. There might be more than we can get out of Morrison's testimony. Okay, so... bam, bam. Not much has changed. New evidence. Well, I'm assuming I just have to press other things, right? Keep a pin on the details. Oh! I can actually check things off. Well, I guess we'll just go down the list then. I'm not really sure how this gameplay mechanic works here, and how it might be different from Ace Attorney. There may be some tricks, so let's see what happens. What was Mosarika doing the moment you saw Justin fall? I told you, didn't I? She was the one who pointed to the walkway in the first place. That's how we saw Justin fall. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. A new number 5? Mosarika pointed it out. That's when we saw Justin fall. This might be the thing, because Mosarika saw him fall before she ran. I really hope we address that. That really needs to be something that comes up first. So Rika was the one who brought your attention to the walkway. Yeah, if it weren't for her, we wouldn't have seen Justin fall. I see. It just flashes. These guys need to work on their engine a little bit, because there's a lot of unnecessary flipping and sprites not being correct and needing to be corrected and stuff. What was your companion doing the moment that you saw Justin fall? Well, he couldn't do much. He was standing next to me. He saw Justin fall into the vat too. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony if you think it'll help? Whoops. Your companion didn't try to find help. How could he? We barely knew what was going on before it was too late. I'm sure the witness's companion did everything he could to save the victim. He's a very good boy. There's far much too happening at the time to react swiftly, and he can't be blamed. Right. Doesn't she sound more defensive than usual? Yes, she does. Alright, so I don't think that's helpful. Alright, I didn't even get a chance to read this. My companion stood there with me. He also saw Justin fall. Alright, let's take option number 4, but I think option number 2 is our best bet. Was the guardrail rusted before it broke? Did you see the guardrail before Justin broke it? What kind of condition was it in? More specifically, was there any rust on it? I can't say I could make out those details. It was pretty far away. I could barely make out the figure that fell into the vat. I see. Could you include that in your testimony if you think it'll help? It was a bit far away, so I couldn't see if there was any rust on the guardrail. You couldn't see anything? Not even a small fleck of rust? All he could do was nothing. I mean, fair. It was far away, lad. I could barely make out the person that fell into the vat. Wait, then how did you know that it was Justin that fell in then? What? Well, who else could it have been? We found remnants of the victim's personal effects in the vat. Justin Way was definitely the person that fell into those corrosive chemicals. Alright. I still think something else fell in afterwards, but I think our ticket to victory is option number... Wait, why is this not checked off? We just... Alright, well, whatever. I wonder if it'll be checked off now. No, I'm gonna pick this again. Why is this resisting checking off? Huh, that's weird. Game developers, you got a bug. I'm not... you may not want me to bitch at you about the asset reuse, but can I bitch about that? Mosarika pointed it out. That's when we saw Justin fall. So this is what I feel like. After seeing him fall, she tried to get the attention of Oster and Noah Morrison, but they couldn't understand her. So there is a clear discrepancy in the order of events here. A bug on Christmas Eve. Yep, Merry Christmas, developers. Like I was saying, I really hoped we drew attention to this fact. The fact that Mosarika saw him fall, and then the others saw him fall afterwards. So I'm really hoping that's what we're about to talk about. So let's see if this works. Objection! Alright, excellent. Hums G, 99 little bugs in the code, yep. Wait, what? Witness, you said that you saw the victim fall into the vat. Did this happen before, during, or after Mosarika tried to get your attention? It was definitely after. If it weren't for the commotion she made, I wouldn't have looked up there in the first place. It's just as we thought. I'm glad we're addressing this now, because it's been bugging me. What does this mean? Morrison, I spoke with Mosarika about what she saw. She said that she saw Justin fall off the walkway and then rushed to you for help. Aye, that sounds about right. No, it doesn't. No, Morrison, it actually does exactly like Psy'Min Sezz. What do you mean? If Mosarika saw Justin fall before she went to get help, then how did you see him fall after she came to you for help? What? Morrison, Mosarika came to you for help. This was in reaction to seeing Justin fall off the walkway. If that's true, then how could you have possibly seen Justin fall off the walkway again afterward? I have no idea. Mr. Cuthbert, you're disputing the witness's testimony over a minor detail. It's entirely possible Mr. Morrison or Miss Tudor simply misremembered. I highly doubt that Morrison misremembered the order of what happened. His testimony matches up exactly with the testimony of his companion. Then Miss Tudor must be the one who's mistaken. I'm compelled to agree with Miss Steelwind. These conflicting accounts seem extremely minor. The prosecution's case is based on the broken guardrail, and only 3 individuals witnessed Justin Wayne break said guardrail. The defense asserts that these 3 witnesses' accounts must be consistent with each other. Otherwise, this evidence is not strong enough to find my client liable. Please, the break in the guardrail is directly over the vat. That is enough physical evidence. It proves that the victim fell in because the guardrail broke. How do we know that the guardrail wasn't broken by some other event? That's ludicrous. You're clearly just playing devil's advocate. I'll admit that I'm also finding the defense's accusation dubious. However, I see no harm in allowing Miss Tudor to testify to what she saw. Fine, whatever. Rika saw a lot less than Morrison and Oster did, and her testimony was a lot less detailed. But the one detail she did remember was that she saw Justin fall off the walkway. Hopefully her testimony might clear up what happened. Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the witness stand. I have no idea how this happened, but I am glad we're addressing it. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. And do it as a chuny, please. This is probably Rika's first time testifying in a courtroom. We hope she'll be okay. Here it comes. Yep, I knew it. As if I need such introductions, but allow me to indulge you all. Oh Lord, is she seriously doing that here? Damn it, Takumi! I am Musarika Tudor, Dark Lord of Arnax, High Archmage of the Cadmium Flames, and business proprietor of Sweet Confections. Also, we really need to see your spell compendium. She is a white mage, yep, she runs a bagel shop, as white mages do. I see, I was not aware we were in the presence of such a renowned... Oh, the judge is just... Wait, what? Wait, does he actually believe her? So, she is very much a chuny character, much like Takumi if you've seen my Chaos Head Noah Let's Play. Or like Gundam Tanaka or Hoyam Ryoma? I forget what Rintaro's stupid nickname for himself is. She has 8th grade syndrome. Well, yes, like I said, she's a chuny. Your Honor, Mr. A.K. Tudor is the owner of a local cafe at Ornax. Let me do the introduction. But isn't she also a high archmage? No, Judge, no, she is not. I am! We need to explain to Rika the concept of perjury. You don't say this to the judge. No, she really isn't. Tyrion, you're ruining my flow! Yeah, stop ruining your flow, Tyrion. I would say that my flow is the most disrupted right now. Anyway, Miss Tudor, you were at the Ornax refinery on the night of the accident, and you witnessed the moment that the victim fell off the walkway, am I correct? Yes, that's right. According to your statement, you ran up to Morrison after you saw Justin fall off the walkway. The problem is that there's a contradiction between both of your testimonies. There's a contradiction? Morrison testified that he didn't see the victim fall into the vat until after you approached him. That wouldn't make sense, though. You saw the victim fall off the walkway before you ran up to Morrison. Morrison couldn't have possibly seen the victim fall again after that. Oh, I think I see what happened. Oh, do you actually have an explanation? You do? I think you're misunderstanding what I said before. I misunderstood you? Uh-oh, what's about to happen? If that's true, could you please testify to the court exactly what did happen? And please include every detail you can remember. Sure. Yeah, she's not happy to be here. I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail. But he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. That still doesn't line up. I didn't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked for help on the grounds and found Mr. Morrison. He must have seen Justin lose his grip off the ledge and fall into the vat after that. No, he specifically said he leaned on the guardrail. Being in court destroys the 8th grade syndrome. She's coming back to reality. Yeah, it does for some people. I think, based on what she just said, who would enjoy being in court? That too. I think based on what she just said that Rika saw the actual murder. And then Morrison and Oster saw the framing, I guess you could say. The way someone used something to pretend that something else happened. So the victim didn't immediately fall into the vat. He was hanging onto the edge of the walkway. Because that lines up with what we heard in the little aside while we were sleeping that night. I would explain how Mr. Morrison saw the victim fall into the vat after Miss Tudor saw him fall off the walkway. In any case, Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. You can't be in court, you got ADHD and you're a schizo. Is that how you get out of jury duty? I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. What kind of sound did you hear? I'm not quite sure. If I had to guess, I'd say that it sounded like the sound of metal hitting metal. Metal hitting metal. That'll matter. The refinery walkway is made out of metal, so perhaps the sound she heard was something metallic colliding with the walkway. Did something shake the walkway and make Justin lose his balance? When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the walkway's guardrail. So this was the moment that you saw Justin fall off the walkway. Yeah. And you said that he fell over the guardrail? I did. But I'm not sure how it happened. I think something caused him to lose his balance. He tumbled over the guardrail and fell right off the walkway. Interesting. But that still doesn't explain why Morrison saw him fall after you ran to him for help. Well, I did see Justin fall from the walkway, but he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. This would also explain why she actually bothered to run for help, because if he fell into the vat, then it's like, well, he was hanging onto the ledge. Was there anyone around to help him back up? I didn't see anyone around, but I really wasn't paying attention to that. I was just focused on saving him before he fell, so you wouldn't have seen anyone else that might have been around who could have pushed him. I assumed that if anyone was nearby, they'd immediately try to help him. I don't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked around for help and found Mr. Morrison. And did you see another individual with him? Yeah, I did. I tried to explain to him and his friend what was going on, but they couldn't hear me over the machines. That does match with the testimonies that he and Oster gave. After that, he must have seen Justin lose his grip of the ledge and fall in the vat. Did you also see this moment? No, I didn't. I was so busy trying to talk to Mr. Morrison that I didn't see it. I didn't even know what had happened until after they shut down the machines. If only Rika had seen the moment that Justin fell off too. I would have been able to compare her statement with the ones we got from Morrison and Oster. We just need to focus on the other parts of her testimony. Rika's testimony is a bit different from the statement she gave us earlier. Looking back on it, I should have asked for more details. I was so focused on matching details with Morrison and Oster, I didn't probe her further. But now that we have a full testimony of what she saw happen, we can compare it to what Morrison and Oster saw. So, she didn't give us any options for adding testimony. So, this is a bit hearsay because she can't really testify to what he saw or said. But we do have his testimony here. On the night of the accident, they noticed walkway lean on a guardrail and break it. So, like I said, they specifically saw him lean on the guardrail and break it. They didn't see him hanging and falling. So, and their testimonies match perfectly, so I'm still pretty sure they both saw two different things. Let's see if this works. Objection! Yay! Second time, first try. Over. She said over, didn't she? Rika, you said that the victim tumbled over the guardrail, as in he was thrown over it. Well, yes, that's right. What? Arya's just like, Nani? People need to stop surprising me with this. Why do I not hear about this from the police? Why do they not investigate? Why are they stupid? Why is everyone gumshoe? Did you see the moment the guardrail broke? No, I didn't. I already told you that, didn't I? But you did see the moment Justin fell off the walkway. And in that moment, did you see Justin break the guardrail? No! Like I told you, I didn't see the moment the guardrail broke. But that's the thing, Rika. According to Morrison, Justin Way broke the guardrail as he fell into the vat. More specifically, He said that Justin Wayne was standing on the walkway when this happened. Also, he leaned on it. What? According to the prosecution, Justin Wayne leaned on a faulty guardrail and broke it, falling into the vat. But that's not what you saw, was it, Rika? No, I saw him tumble over the guardrail. Arya, what do you got? I'm afraid I don't see the importance of this, Mr. Cuthbert. You don't? Are you accusing the witness of perjury? There's definitely something going on here, but what? Musarika is a mage, and I don't want to suspect her. Yeah, I don't want to suspect her either. I don't think she did anything. But she's not totally in the clear. We need to consider every possibility. What is happening here? I think they're both telling the truth. I think they both saw two different events, essentially. But how do we prove that? Well, I heard the success noise, so that was it. They're both telling the truth, I guess. But how does that make sense? Okay, think through this. Could it be illusion magic? I mean, it could be a lot of different kinds of magic. We didn't see evidence of illusion magic, though. We saw evidence of transmutation magic on the entire walkway, which implies that someone eroded the guardrail so that someone would fall over. So we found evidence of that. And that wasn't even trace evidence. That was just the whole damn walkway. But the vats also had magical traces, but they're magical, so that's to be expected. No evidence of illusion magic. So I'm probably thinking the same thing you are, but that's a thing, so I don't know. We definitely need more information, because this makes no sense. If we assume Rika and Morrison are telling the truth, we need to remember the exact order of events. But again, I am glad we're addressing this, because this was bothering me during the investigation, so it's good to get it out of the way. I'm glad it's not a storytelling flub, it's literally a contradiction. First, Rika saw Justin go up the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail. But he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the edge of the platform. She saw Justin fall over the guardrail and off the walkway. Justin was able to grab onto the walkway ledge. That's when Musarika went to look for help. This is when she ran into Morrison and Oster. Musarika came running toward us. He was trying to tell us something, but the damn machines were too loud for us to hear. He pointed at the walkway, and that's when we saw someone fall in the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. And then there's Oster's account of events. So this is Arya's betrothed. And he's, boy, he seems a little bit more suited to, I could see him dating Rika more than I could see him dating Arya. Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How did you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? Oster and Morrison couldn't see Justin's face. That one detail of their testimonies never sat right with us. But we dismissed our suspicions. They found Justin's body in the vat, after all. We know for a fact that he fell into the vat, but we never considered one other possibility. Another person fell into the vat. Was it another person, or was it an illusion thing? Who's Oster? It was that guy that was just on screen. But it's also Arya's betrothed that she does not want us to talk about in court. Now, I was thinking, because they fell limply, so I don't think, or at least I'm not sure if another person fell in the vat. I was just thinking that there was some illusion. The whole betrothal thing needs to be reconsidered. I'm sure they have their reasons. I'm sure they'll be a very happy couple. But another person falling in, that's interesting. What if someone knocked someone, because like I said before, when we heard that whole thing happen in that little aside interlude while we were sleeping, it sounded like there were two people there, two question mark names, because of the way the conversation sounded. What if someone there actually sacrificed another well, why would they do that though? What would be the benefit of that? I'm curious about the motivation here. She doesn't seem to like him very much. It's hard to say. She doesn't like people talking about him. She's very defensive about him, so I think maybe she does? Or it might be a duty thing. Who knows? We'll have to see. She may act like an entirely different person when she's around him. We don't know. But I'm going to go with another person fell in the vat because the other two don't make any sense. Success noise! Another person? Is that really possible? But it's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, another something fell in, for sure. It also explained how Rika, Morrison, and Oster all saw someone fall off the walkway at different times. Actually, I just had a thought. Didn't they say that this was the factory that was responsible for helping to make the arcane constructs? What if someone shoved an arcane construct in and pretended it was Justin? But again, why? Because I suspect they'll say that that would dissolve completely in the magical chemicals and leave no trace, unlike some of Justin's stuff. But then who is this second person? We don't have a choice. Even if we don't know all the facts, this is the only conclusion we can draw. I think you've had quite enough time to deliberate, Mr. Sezz. Are you accusing the witness or not? I'm not accusing the witness of perjury, Your Honor. Both Miss Tudor's and Mr. Morrison's testimonies appear to contradict each other. But I think they're both telling the truth. Then please enlighten us, Mr. Cuthbert. How could both of their testimonies possibly be true? Well, I think there's only one possible explanation. Both Miss Tudor and Mr. Morrison saw someone fall off the walkway. But the person Miss Tudor saw and the person Mr. Morrison saw were two different people. Party is just not impressed already. Are you serious, Mr. Cuthbert? Do you honestly think some random person fell into the vat moments after Justin Wayne fell in? No, I don't. It's the only conclusion that makes sense, Miss Steelwind. Miss Tudor knew the victim and recognized him. That's how she was able to confirm that it was him that fell in the vat. However, Mr. Morrison and his companion did not know the victim personally. They could barely make out his features. They only assumed that it was him after learning that he fell in. Please. Oh yeah, there's the cane. We don't get to see the cane that much. I'm not sure she's ever held it out like that before. It's a cool cane. I keep saying her slam it, but she never holds it up. It's far more likely that Miss Tudor is simply mistaken about what she saw. What? No, I'm sure I saw Justin tumble over the guardrail. And let's not forget Miss Tudor's allegiances. As a beneficiary of the Dracogen Trading Company, she has every reason to confound this case in the defendant's favor. That's not... That's kind of a point. Leave it to Arya to bring that up. That's enough. This is a civil case, Mr. Cuthbert, not some mystery, not some murder mystery for you to throw wild theories toward. Nope. Also, who is saying this exactly that we're contradicting? We're going to have to use our trump card. We have one piece of evidence that implies this wasn't a simple accident. And as I said before, where is it? So this is the evidence, there are magical traces of transmutation on the guardrail that Justin supposedly broke before falling. And it would explain why they crumbled like cookies, and these things only last 48 hours. So, hey Judge, take that. Are you sure about that, Your Honor? What? Justin Wayne's death was reported as an unfortunate accident. As a result, the City Guard put minimal resources into their investigation. More specifically, there was no reason to call in the Arcane Inquisition. What are you talking about now? Also, the Arcane Inquisition is dumb. They couldn't find their butt with both hands. Why would the Inquisition be... Wait, are you saying that... Unlike the Oridax City Guard, I have a mage capable of casting Detect Magic. Yay, he's talking about me! My bodyguard, Celeste McCoy, scanned the crime scene for magical traces, and she found traces of transmutation on the broken guardrail. Where's the Spanish Inquisition? Well, they'll come when we don't expect them. Traces of magic were found at the crime scene. But that would make this a potential homicide, Your Honor. This is ridiculous. The accident took place within an arcane refinery. Those traces could have easily come from the purification process. Miss Steelwind, those traces were found only on the guardrails that Justin broke. We didn't find them anywhere else. Ugh. We can't be certain of what happened, but it's clear that a mage used magic near the scene of the accident. Foul play may have been involved. So my theory of another person falling into the vat is entirely possible. My client is not at fault for the guardrail breaking. Considering this shocking revelation, there's still much we do not know about Justin Way's death. I mean, are we going to end the trial here and do more investigating? Because it seems like that would be the thing to do now. This may be a short court day. With that said, I have no choice but to suspend the trial of Von Sanctus versus Dracogen. Yeah, exactly. We had a feeling this would happen. Just like our other cases, the court won't pass a verdict until a culprit is found. Yeah, I can't just find my client guilty. I have to go find the person that actually did it. Make me do all the work, why don't you? Man, these Ace Attorney games suck. This court will give the Arcane Inquisition time to investigate the scene and the supposed magical traces. We will resume the trial in 2 days' time. 2 days? Holy hell. Court is adjourned. We've only been going for 3 hours. I feel like I've got another hour in me. We usually do these for 4. God, this is so Ace Attorney, this music. Literally. Maybe we'll do a half investigation day. Well, we survived the first day. It kind of feels like we're back to square one. Yeah, the Inquisition will get involved. They know that magic played a role in what happened. If we want them to dismiss the case against Dracogen, we're going to have to find out exactly what happened. If that's even possible. Oh, why are we blacking out again? Hey, are you okay? You feel a headache coming on. Yeah, I think I'm just tired. Well, this day has been exhausting. No, something's happening. I feel Eris's manipulations in the background. It's pretty late. Should we just head back to the inn and continue the investigation tomorrow? No, I want to take another look at the refinery before the Inquisition gets there. Except maybe I'm getting a migraine. The throbbing pain in my skull seems to disagree with me doing that. Again, Eris? Who's messing with me? Yeah, no, we're heading back to the inn. I'm fine, really. Tyrion, I know you're anxious about the trial, but you need to get some rest. Celeste, it's fine. It's not. You're gonna work yourself... Would you just stay out of my way? Quit blowing up at Celeste, come on. Again, our voice came out louder than we meant for it to. Fine, whatever, do what you want. It's this damn city. Being back here is really getting to me. That's all the more reason to get through this trial as soon as possible. Wait, is this courtroom actually in the same town? In which case it's the same judge and Oria's here too. Like, guys, you guys keep following me around. What the hell? Also, why does this courtroom look exactly the same as the other one? The soreness in my head doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Perhaps she's right. We'd be better off investigating the scene after some rest. I feel like someone's messing with us, and it's probably Eris. Another nightmare overtakes our sleep, so... We had 2 things happen that last night. It was the aside during the actual murder and whatever nightmare. So here's another one. We clutch the note tightly in our hands as we read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things I wanted to tell you, so many things I wanted to show you. This is Frey from the beginning. But I'm afraid that I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. This shouldn't be written down. Someone else is going to find it. Use it to reclaim the future. Her eyes? I don't understand. It doesn't matter. All we have to do is stop the execution. All we have to do is stop the execution? Why is my mom being executed? Wait, what's going on here? If we can just distract the knights long enough, we can save her and run away. We'll have to abandon our home, but at least she'll still be with us. Nope. As we try to sprint toward the gallows, a knight grabs our arm and pulls us back. Hey, kid, you can't cross this point. So much for your plan, buddy. Hey, stop that! We fruitlessly try to break his grip by striking him with our bare hands. But he barely feels anything through his armor. We continue delivering blow after blow to him, but it does nothing. Our knuckles start to bleed. Irritated by our own behavior, the knight pins us to the ground. Damn kid. We desperately struggle against him to no avail. And from this position, we have no choice but to watch what's happening. Oh, we're gonna pin you down as you watch. You got that close, eh? Wait, stop! We make eye contact with our mother one last time. Man, Mom's this weekend. Jeez. Her body goes limp. We stare blankly at the hanging body. Damn! Literal straight-up gallows. Mom? We clutch her note tightly in our hand. We feel a comforting yet fleeting warmth from it. Mom! That was the warmth of the hand. Tyrion? We're having a nightmare. Celeste, We snap back awake. It was another nightmare. We notice tears streaming down our face. We quickly try to bring up the sleeve to wipe them away, but Celeste is firmly gripping our hand. What? Oh, that's the hand we felt. Why are you... sorry. You were shouting in your sleep. You seemed to calm down a little whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Oh. Tyrion, are you okay? We're not. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Arcane, so this is our hometown, Za, just so that's clear. It's nothing. Why did we come here? Just to upstage some noble at chess? That was the only reason we came here, and now we're caught up in this crap. Again, I feel Eris's hands at play. It's not nothing. Does it have something to do with your mother? For the past 2 nights you've been calling out for her in your sleep. Please, just talk to me. I'm your friend, aren't I? We never even realized it, but we don't have many people in our lives after we left Arcane. Basically Ruby, and that's it. Yeah, we only have Miss Tamora, and she never wanted to talk about what happened. But Celeste, she's been there for us ever since we started our career. Of course she's our friend. It all happened a long time ago. We lived here together in that old house. My mother was a merchant and a mage. Your mother was a mage? But I guess the gift of magic skipped my generation. I can never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found murdered. Oh, we're gonna have to solve that, aren't we? And they found traces of magic at the crime scene. They thought your mom did it. Miss Tamora was my mother's defense attorney for the trial. She did everything she could to get her acquitted, but she could never find the real culprit. Who's that gonna end up being? Watch it be Eris. Calling it now. They found her guilty of first-degree murder. I tried to stop her execution, but... Our voice starts breaking. Tyrion. I'm sorry, Celeste. What? Coming back here has brought back so many memories. I thought that I'd already moved on from what happened. Hey, triggers be like that. Everyday hypnosis. If I could just keep saving people as an attorney, then maybe I could put all of this behind me. But I'm back in Arcane, and those feelings are still so fresh in my mind. It's like I'm still the same powerless child from 10 years ago. I know that I've been taking that out on you. I'm really sorry. Don't be. I get it. I know what it's like to lose someone like that. Yeah, you do. She does, doesn't she? When my dad was murdered, you were there for me. If it weren't for you, I would have still believed that he died hating me. Celeste slowly clasps your hand within hers again. It feels warm and comforting. Has this been the warmth we've been feeling for the last few nights? Yeah, probably. So just let me be here for you. We can feel ourselves dozing off. We have to snap ourselves back awake. Sorry, the last few days have been a little tiring. It's okay. Just focus on falling asleep. That sounds like something Psy'Min says. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. Yawn. I'm also feeling pretty tired, though. I'll just rest my eyes a bit. We're both just going to fall asleep in bed. For the first time since we arrived in Arcane, we finally get a good night's sleep. We wake up the next morning feeling well rested. Cuddling Celeste. We feel also almost a little too well rested. We feel reluctant to leave the comfort of our bed. Celeste, are you there? Oh, never mind. Your hand feels warm. Never mind. Oh, she is here. We can feel our hearts stop. Celeste? What do you want? Her eyes slowly open and she wakes from her equally restful sleep. She drowsily scans her surroundings and then she's gonna wide awake. Nani? Yeah, there we go. That's the Nani face. There's the Nani sprite. We both dart out of the bed. So... you seem to be doing better. Boy, how about this weather, huh? Me, I'm getting rained on. Thank you for the hydrates, huh? Some of the sprites in this game are a little bit weird, like the angry faces, but the sprites like this are kind of cute. You seem to be doing better. You're okay, right? Yeah, thank you for last night. Awkward. Poor phrasing. Oh, there's Oster. Hello, are you there, Mr. Cuthbert? Ah, what the hell? My soul nearly jumps out of my body. I suddenly hear Oster's voice, and it's extremely loud. I look around to see where he is, but he's nowhere to be found. Oster? Ah, thank the Scaled Lord. I finally got through to you two. Oh, does he know some sort of communication magic? What? Where are you? I'm using a spell to speak with you right now. I apologize for contacting you in this manner, but I was worried that something had happened to you two. Right, of course. Why were you worried about us? Anyway, what do you want at this time of day? This time of day? Mr. Cuthbert, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Damn! Well, we wasted our day. What? How the hell did you guys sleep that long? Even I don't sleep that long. And I've got some terrible sleep habits. I hope everything's okay. Did something happen? No, don't worry about it. Everything's okay. Anyway, if it's already this late, we should head over to the refinery. Yes, the investigation, that thing. Let's do that, immediately. Good thing we get 2 days. Celeste immediately power walks out of the room. We quickly follow after her. If you're heading to the refinery, do you mind if I meet with you two? There's something I'd like to ask you. You can't do it now? Wonderful, I'll see you there. I guess we'll meet at the town square. We quickly meet Oster in the town square when we walk to the refinery. Us and Celeste walk to our destination with purpose, a little too much purpose. It's almost as if we're both trying to distract ourselves from something, yeah, no kidding. Every time we make eye contact with Celeste, she glances away. Things are a little awkward, yeah, like I said. We much prefer this over the tense mood between the two of us yesterday. Anyway, Oster, what was that spell you used earlier? It let you speak with us without being there. Oh, that was a conjuration spell. It's called Send Message. It's literally magic email. I just feel a little bit uneasy that you can just contact us out of the blue like that. More importantly, I'm a little worried about what he might have seen. Don't worry, the spell is perfectly harmless. I can give you the parameters if you like. Well then! That's gonna be important, isn't it? For the duration of the spell, caster projects their voice to communicate with a target. Anyone with a 30-foot radius can hear the caster's voice. Caster can also hear sounds close to the target, allowing for two-way communication. Anyone within a 30-foot radius can hear the caster's voice. Target must be a person known to the caster. That person must also be conscious, otherwise the spell will fail. Alternatively, target can be an object that is attuned to the caster's magic. Alright, this is an awful lot of rules for how this works. How is this going to matter in this case? Because there was no sound involved, aside from the metal hitting metal that Rika heard, which I don't really think is going to be relevant. Alright, well, in my notes with you, it looks like it only facilitates communication. He definitely didn't see the embarrassing state we were in. By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but why are you following us? Oh, yes! I was still trying to think of the proper method to ask you, but you both seem to be on edge at the moment. What did you want to ask us? You already told me about the traces of transmutation at the refinery, but the trial yesterday really highlighted the significance of that. I can't simply stand by if I was a witness to a murder. And, well, there's the laser eyes. This is our happy boy. This is the person Arya is getting married to. This is not the personality I would associate with her, but whatever. May I join you on your investigation? Just it's a beam! What the hell the reindeer's name? Speaking of reindeer, what the hell's the reindeer's name from One Piece again? I don't remember. Chopper, that's it, Chopper. Chopper, he's got chopper eyes. It's a beam! Okay, Chopper. Settle down. We're questioning his motives for a variety of reasons. Also, can we just bring up the fact that you're the betrothed of the prosecution, who we really shouldn't be dealing with? The man loves to be a detective. This guy is just like, he's a prince. He never gets to get out of his castle, so he's just like, oh, I want to see what the common people do. He was the only other mage that was at the scene of the crime, technically. Between him and Rika, we definitely trust Rika more. I don't think it was this guy. He wasn't really there. Like, he was there, but not there. Alright, I see no reason why not. Celeste shoots us a concerned look. We subtly gesture for her to keep an eye on Oster. She nods in acknowledgement. Oster is our prime suspect right now, and he has to be aware of that. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But if we keep him close to us, we might catch some dissident thoughts through the eye.